Okay, so I talked to Mel at Recumbent PDX. This is my local bike shop here in Portland, and I'm going to go down there and check out one of these modular electric assist systems and see how I feel about it. We'll talk over the specs, see if it's something that I feel is going to help make my riding easier, maybe for touring, maybe just to have in Portland. It'll help me to make a decision. So, all right, let's go. Come on, Myrtle, let's go. All right, so I am at Recumbent PDX in Portland, and I'm looking at adding an electric assist modular system. And this is where I'll just replace the boom for a boom that has a motor integrated into the front derailleur and the cranks. And I have an example here in front of me. So here, this is an HP Velotechnik Scorpion. This is a plus. And you can see that there's this black box on the boom. And so this is the motor, and it's integrated into the boom. It's welded on. And with this system, you only need to replace the boom for this one that has a motor. So I don't need to buy a whole new trike. And then back here is the battery. And of course I could have one on the other side. And then here is the display. And I love how small it is. Some of these displays are really obnoxiously big. And so theoretically with this system, you can switch it out. So maybe I'll find that for touring, I don't really like it, but it works perfect for being around town. I live up a huge hill with a 13% grade, so having an electric assist for that would be really great. And so many of my friends have electric assist. You know, I'm having a lot of trouble keeping up. I was probably already having trouble keeping up. And so riding with them will be a lot more enjoyable. And so I think with this system, it's going to give me just a lot of options. And, you know, we'll just see how it goes. But this is the system that I'm thinking about. All right, and here we are at Recumbent PDX. Here's Mel. Hi, Mel.
Hi, to whomever you're live streaming to.
Yeah, you know, just doing a little, we're doing a little once around the shop. Got to show everybody how cool this shop is. And they're low on trikes. They just got trikes everywhere. Okay, so I waited, test drove the Shimano Steps 8000 yesterday. I decided to sleep on it before making an assessment. This morning, I was going through comments from my last video, and I noticed that a lot of people don't know that I have already had a trike with electric assist, and that I've done a 6,000-mile tour using electric assist. This was over the winter of 2010, 2011, and I did a 6,000-mile tour around the United States. This was probably my fourth tour. I had gone from Canada to Guatemala through Mexico. I had been through New Zealand and Australia, and I did a tour of Southeast Asia, going through Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, and Thailand. And it was in the south of Thailand. It was so unbelievably hot, and I was really struggling. And through all these tours, I was also very overweight. I was carrying probably 80, 90 pounds more than I am now. And even though I was cycling so much, I didn't lose any weight. And I just thought, you know, I'm struggling so much. I really need to do something to make my tours easier. And so when I returned to Portland, I added a 750 watt Eco Speed motor and two 10 amp hour batteries. And there were lots of things that I liked about eAssist, and there were lots of things I didn't like about eAssist. At the time, EcoSpeed was considered the most reliable. It was kind of the Mercedes-Benz of eAssist. And Throughout the tour, I was very concerned, as I saw in the comment section from my last video, people were really worried that I wouldn't be able to find electricity. But from my experience, I can say that electricity is actually very easy to find. And I was never without the motor and the batteries. I never had to pedal unassisted, which was a really good thing because this trike with the motor and batteries weighed 105 pounds, and that would have been such a big struggle. I did have some parts go bad, so I had to send them to the companies, and then they would send them back to me. But I was never off the road. One of the things that I really didn't like was, this is before pedal sensors, and so I had to use a thumb throttle. I had 2 of those go bad on me, but luckily it always happened in towns that had e-bike stores, and this was a very common component, and so it was very easy to replace. But the thumb throttle was really tiring to use, and I couldn't pull the amount of power from the battery that I wanted. It always gave me more than I needed or wanted to pull, and so I was going through the batteries a lot faster than I wanted to. And then the other thing was, I was always really obsessed with the controller and seeing how much power I was pulling, how much I had used, calculating how much I had left, how far I could get. And I was always worried about getting to a destination and being able to charge up again. And I felt like this really took away from the enjoyment of cycling, where you have the freedom to go wherever you wanted. I oftentimes had to change my route to accommodate the batteries, and it kind of bothered me. But all in all, the system did very, very well. Another thing that I did on this tour was I started eating and following Weight Watchers. And so as I was touring, I was stopping in different towns and going to Weight Watchers meetings, and I was losing weight. And by the next summer back in Portland, I had lost so much weight that the trike was too big. And so that's when I bought my current trike, my Scorpion. And I've been using it ever since. And because I tour always in the winter time, I need to get someplace warm, and I need to get my trike on a plane, and the batteries can't go on the plane. And so since that tour, I haven't really considered putting electric assist on my trike again until this last week when I was at TOT. And so many people have electric assist, and some people came up with some very innovative solutions for me to get my batteries to my destination. And so I was really thinking about it again, and my real big motivation is my next tour. I'm thinking about riding in Costa Rica, Panama, Colombia, and Ecuador. And Ecuador is going to be the most mountainous country I've ever cycled in, and I was thinking it sure would be nice to make that a little bit easier. So yesterday I went to Recumbent PDX and I tried out this system, and I ended up doing 2 rides. I went down the hill, turned around, came back up, and they hadn't turned on the motor. They turned on the display but not the motor, and so I rode back up without the electric assist. And this was actually really good because now I know what it feels like to ride the trike being unassisted. And I have to say, it was fine. I wasn't any slower than I am on my trike, which is unassisted, and it didn't feel like I was lugging around a heavy weight. So I went back to the store, they turned on the motor, I went back down the hill, turned around, came back up. And there's 3 levels of assist on this trike. There's Eco, Trail, and Boost. And I found Eco to have more than enough power for what I need. I did try Trail and Boost, and I really scooted along. I was doing city riding, and so I really wasn't able to, really put it out there and see how fast it'll go. But it was more than enough than I need. The things that I really liked about the system was it's quiet, it rides very smooth, and it feels like a quality product. I love the stealthiness of it. It's not an obvious electric assist system. It really feels very, very solid. But while I was riding, it occurred to me that no matter how reliable a system is, it's going to break down. It's inevitable. And to take something like any kind of electric assist system to a country that doesn't have an electric bike infrastructure. For me, it would be too much. I'm thinking about like if I was in southern Colombia or in Ecuador and I needed to have parts sent, I really don't know where I could send them. And then once I got the parts, I'm not sure I would know what to do with them to make the repairs. And so I was thinking, you know, it's probably not a great idea to use electric assist out of the country in places that don't have electric assist infrastructure. I think it would be great to use in the United States, for sure in Europe or the UK, maybe even Mexico. Mexico has Amazon, so that's really a possibility. But I was also thinking that it would be really nice to have this system while I'm here in Portland. I'm in Portland for 6 months. I'm in Portland really for the entire riding season. And it would be wonderful to have this electric assist to get me up the hill. I live up a big hill, it's got a 13% grade, and it sure would be nice to be able to get up this hill easier and faster, and maybe I would ride with more people more often. But I ran into a snag. The Shimano batteries, the 10 amp hour batteries, are on back order, and they're not expected to be available again until August or September, which isn't really going to give me enough time until my next tour to make it worthwhile. And so adding electric assist, I think, is on the back burner again until after my next tour. And when I return, I will see how I feel. And it's possible that I'll consider even buying a new trike, an electric trike, to keep here in Portland for the 6 months that I'm in Portland, and then I'll keep my current trike to use for touring out of the country until this living situation changes, and then I can tour in the summer months, and then I could tour in my own country. Be wonderful to be able to tour around the United States, and I would certainly consider using this Shimano Steps for touring in the US. And so that is my assessment. The reasons for having electric assist and not having electric assist. I would love to know what you think. Maybe I've missed something. Maybe you got some other ideas. I love hearing from you. Please leave a comment in the comment section below. And as always, thank you for watching.